music today, there's for people that are longing for it. We know that it looks like it's an unwritten rule now of New Music Fridays everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. New Music Friday. So yes, there's a lot of music we're going to be analyzing today. There's also sports. Super Falconets. It is official. Like whether we like it or not, there's something that is in the air when it comes to women and sports. They're not playing around at this point. And the Super Falconets, the under-20 Nigerian female team, national team, they're not playing around as well, because it looks like they're in it for the gold. Let me put it like that. They're in it for the cup at the end of the day. So yes, we're definitely going to be talking about them. They had a game, their first game at the World Cup yesterday at Costa Rica. We're going to be talking about that. A lot of people had a lot of things to talk about. So yes, we're going to be talking about that. Also, moving off that, there's a bit of politics. In fact, this is a lot of controversy. It's in the past few hours. There's been a lot of drama. There's some court summons that has popped up, and the person that it involves says he knows nothing about it. So that puts up a lot of questions. We're definitely going to be talking about it. Also, that's Governor Wike. Governor Soludo is also in the news. I don't know if I'll call it good news or it is in the news for the right reasons. Looks like one of his local government chairman looks like is going to be going to jail if found culpable. He has the governor has suspended this particular person as we speak. So that is a developing story. We're definitely going to touch on that, and a few other things that pops up from time to time. The PDP had something to say about Governor Wike. Oshogbo Festival, there is looks like a lot of people don't listen to government. So whatever you're wondering why, that's something that we're going to be talking about also. The Labour Party is in news as everybody has been announcing their presidential spokesperson or persons or spokespeople or spokesman or whatever it is anybody wants to call it. The Labour Party has officially announced their own as well. We're going to be looking at who this person is, a breakdown of who this person is, which we have done for a few other parties as well. We're going to be looking at that also. If time permits us, there is we know that the presidential spokesperson always has a publication every week, and he obviously has something to say again today. So if time permits us, we might be able to talk about that. But as time goes on, let's just begin, and we're definitely starting from New Music Friday. There's a lot of music, as in a whole lot of music that everybody, and I know that it's and it's one thing to have music, it's one thing to have good music, and I can categorically say this weekend did not make a difference. It is definitely some good music, and we're starting this one with my own personal favorite, Ethos. And this is a joint album of AQ and Brymo. And when I saw this news last week that they were releasing, in fact I think it was that they were having a listening party. AQ is a rapper. We know that Brymo is a beautiful, amazing singer. So it was not I would say I was actually looking forward to this album. It was not and thankfully it was definitely not a disappointment.
I'm a massive fan of Brymo. I like Brymo's work. The first time I heard him was, of course, as a collaboration when he was with the Chalk Boys. But when he went out on his own, a lot of people branch out and just fizzle out. Brymo became something else. Did well when he was with the Chalk City, but he got like phenomenal and crazier when he became himself. And the collaboration between Brymo and Gilbert Bani, popularly known as AQ, is something for the mind that knows music, the mind that likes, creativity. Now, I'm not speaking against people who don't like this type of songs or this type of flow. It's not about you. It's about those who do, those who recognize that, there's a fusion of art that brought about ethos, and if you're not listening to it, please do yourself a favor and go check out all the streaming platforms, and it's going to be on Boom Radio too, but now AQ, during the lockdown, a few months after or towards the peak of the lockdown, dropped a collaboration with MI. They had an EP that they had done all the songs together, and it was very, very good.
Yeah.
For all rap heads, you would love it. Then he dropped another song, another collaboration with MI, and I think I've forgotten the rapper now, but I will probably come back to that. Then a few weeks ago, there was another collaboration that AQ was involved in, and I think it's exclusive to one of the streaming platforms. And barely 2 or 3 weeks after, there's an announcement that he's working on something with Brymo. There's a listening party, then the album drops. And at midnight, we checked it out, and a few minutes ago, I finally listened to the entire album. And if you're not into, deep creative stuff, you might not feel it. But for me, I love every single
I think
track.
it's beautiful music.
There are 10 songs.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
And I like every
I think it's a
single
beautiful album. Like I said, I personally feel that an album is not for everybody. And what I mean by an album is not for everybody is that, or the point of an album to me is that there should be songs that appeals to different people. Do you understand? So the songs that might appeal, which I think is an album is for everybody, but not every song on each album is for everybody. I think to me that's the point of an album. Yeah. But so that's why you're listening to an album and then you move on to the next one, and then you move songs on an album to get to the ones that appeals to you. But every single song on this album was a hit.
Back to back.
It was a beautifully done album.
So shout out to Brymo and AQ for giving us ethos, and we would actually sound like Oliver Twist and say, I think we need to have more of these kind of collaborations. It's as if your library just got enriched. Again, take away the beats or the rhythm or the flow, and key into the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
So on all fronts,
it's good music. It's good music. That's it.
We encourage you guys to go cop one.
It definitely is good music. And let's move on to another one that I also personally like. This is an EP actually, and it is Terry's In Transit album. He actually released a deluxe version of his EP that was released about 3 months ago. And this EP has remixes of his old songs that has Buju in it and has Rema in it. And personally, the song Danger, for me, I think Danger was, to me, was like my best song on that album, on the EP. Yeah. That was when it was first released. And having Buju on that song now, let me put it like this: Buju was Buju. It was a fantastic, these days I like what people are doing with remixes. Like, okay, if you didn't know there was an original song, it would have been like, okay, this is perfect. And then you hear like, oh, okay, this is a remix. Like, it's a whole different song on its own, and it is beautifully made. It's beautifully sung, it's beautifully mixed, it's beautifully mastered. I think that this, then his song with Rema as well. I think that whoever Terri is or whatever he's on, I think he's on I think he's on the right track.
Yeah.
If he keeps at it, I think he's gonna go places.
The one thing that you can never fault is the quality of his work and the talent that Terri has, you know. And we're still just gonna keep, you know, pushing it out, let people understand how talented this amazing guy is, you know. So shout out to Terri for, you know, doing the deluxe version of his album, and if you haven't listened, go check it out.
And moving on from that, it looks like there's some beef that is coming up, but sadly I didn't listen to the song yet. Looks like there is a Game and Eminem beef that is coming. For people that understand, the story basically is that there is a new song that the Game, which I've not heard from in a while, released a new song called The Black Slim Shady, where he dissed Eminem and made references to his daughter.
If you understand the rap game, you understand that it's about controversy at
times.
You understand that dissing is a part of the game.
It is. I agree.
The idea is that if I diss you, you diss me. No gunshots, no bullets, no
nothing.
No punches.
No hard feelings. It's just, everybody's.
Just let your punches.
It's words.
Let your punches be punchlines. You know, the kind of thing that makes you sound fine. Don't make me start to flow. You know I got to go.
No, okay, it's enough. It's enough. Thank you.
The Game, you know, is a very good rapper, and Eminem is one of the best of them all. You know, so the Black Slim Shady is, for me, I think Game is just looking for game, but he's gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
You don't come for Marshall Mathers.
You're definitely
take my crown.
Nope. It's
so it's on.
Oh, it's on. It definitely is on. And still talking about music. Only for us to wake up today and then there is a song which I did not see that collaboration coming up. In fact, when we were talking about it earlier, you thought that it was two different songs completely.
Yeah.
And it was Zinoleesky and Tiwa Savage. Okay, so it's a Tiwa Savage song that has Zinoleesky on it. And it's Jaye Foreign.
Yeah.
And I like what music is these days. That very assuming, very different people, very different voice textures get on songs and they just do amazing.
Yeah, it's like cooking. You know, it's like blending. You know.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
blend is amazing. The blend
and
is amazing.
You know, the chef says, I need spice. Or I need some sour taste. I need some cream. So you look for who's going to bring that flavor. That
flavor in, yeah.
And when it works perfectly. When it doesn't work, it bombs like. Who said you work? You know.
I can give you an example.
One, don't please. I know you have plenty. You are never out of examples of songs that are bumped or that might bump or that will bump or that bump in your own ears. I'm just saying. I just have very good ears for stuff. A Zinoleesky Tiwa Savage blend, of course. I always say something like, for me, when it comes to, I'm not trying to compare or do anything. I'm just trying to praise. So when it comes to Amapiano flows in Nigeria. Oh yeah, Zinoleesky's got it. He's got it. When it comes to people who know how to, and I think he does amazing on people's songs. That you cannot take away. You almost can't think of a collaboration that Zinoleesky is on that you say, okay, this song is a bad song. Exactly. So yeah, I think they did a number on this one. It's beautiful song for the weekend. Also, another person, LAX has a song called Para. That's another Amapiano flow as well. What do you think about the song? I've only played it once, and I've said one thing, that I'm gonna be careful if I don't feel the song the first time. The first time
It happens. It happens.
Across. I'm also a big fan of LAX, so I probably need to listen again.
Yeah, the past few songs that he has dropped, I think he's doing a lot of Amapiano these days. He's doing a lot of Amapiano, so maybe that's what he's really trying to channel his Amapiano side to it.
But he still has his raps.
Yeah, it's not a bad vibe at all. I have a few reservations that I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
I am not going to start what.
So we're moving on.
We're moving on from that, but still on LAX, DJ Sean has now gotten a song, has released a song that has LAX and Ricardo Banks with Baddest.
So I listened to that one, and I'm like, yeah,
it's a beautiful song.
LAX and that song.
And then Ricardo's voice. Oh no,
Ricky baby, Ricardo is.
I wish he would do more music though. Like he'll bring out more music.
No.
We hear a lot of him. We don't hear a lot of him like we used to before.
Are we done with Ozumba? Have we left Ozumba?
Yes, now.
No, we're still there. We are at the junction of Ozumba, by the way. Please, thank you.
We're way past there.
Ricardo.
See, we're close to Aja.
Bye.
We're close. Oh my God, are you joking?
Yeah, go.
Wow, me bye.
Bye.
So some of us have already got into what's it called? Lekki we're very close to Aja already.
Please,
so bring us back. We need to be brought back.
Moving. Those of us that
we need to be brought back. Thank you.
And we're chilling with Ricardo on Ozumba. But he's done a great job on DJ Sean's song.
Oh yeah, it's
shout out to DJ Sean for this one.
Yeah, and I think it's an amazing beat. Yeah, shout out to DJ Sean, whoever produced that beat, or if it's DJ Sean himself. It is an amazing beat. It's very good. What's it called? Another person that is here to stay is Peruzi. Peruzi decided to give us double barrel today. Pew 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 pew. With Hypertension and sorry, what's the name of that song? In My Arms or in something. I can't remember. But anyway, Peruzi has 2 songs today. The thing that used to vex me is that, like I've said here a few times, I thought that Peruzi would be what Buju is, or much more. He didn't seem to catch on as much, but I think he's an amazing songwriter, and now adds to someone that has an amazing voice. You need to listen to those songs, or maybe because I'm just a little biased because it's Peruzi. Do I like Peruzi? Yes, I like me some Peruzi. I like me a lot of Peruzi, not some Peruzi. So yeah, we've not heard it, and bring it on. Like, I would like more of this. Thank you very much, Mr. Peruzi. Thank you. Bye. T for thanks.
Yeah, the thing about Peruzi for me, and I'm not going to lie, is how he knows how to pick the songs. We all know how he writes for other people also, how Peruzi is writing for this person and that person. But he also knows how to do it for himself. The 2 songs, like you talked about, Hypertension and Things I Need.
Things I Need, okay.
I'm trying to remember, So the Things I Need is the one that I have played more than once, that I really, really like. And I'm like, okay, this is vintage Peruzi, And I was just thinking to myself, it was 3 a.m. I was up, listening to Boom Radio. A Peruzi song came up, and I'm like, this brother has been quiet for a while.
Exactly, yeah.
You didn't even see that coming today too.
Yeah, two. Very, very interesting. Another person that looks like he's here to stay after a lot of controversy back and forth is Skibby. Skibby has a song called Bobo, which very interesting song. And as I was listening, I'm like, okay, where is Bobo in this song? And then not until you get to like almost the end, you say, hey, Bobo. I'm like, okay, we get it. The song is Bobo. Like, we get the point. It's Abdu. Well, it's actually not a bad song at all. You should actually go and check it out. I know that I've said it more than once that I think I like what he used to do. He's a lot of songs that he's brought out, or what that really has been big that he has brought out. He's done a lot of collaborations with people and those songs have been big. But then the last 2-3 songs that he has released all by himself, not bad at all. One song that I think that is like really doing well is I think that Trenchy song. Maybe because it's kind of relatable, yeah, which we know it happens a lot these days. So shout out to him. It's not a bad song at all. Looks like Skibby is definitely finally here to stay after all the back and forth. So yes, there are a lot of songs that's going to be out. Psycho YP has released songs. You know, there are actually like a whole lot of songs out there today. So please go and listen to the songs, and definitely you're going to listen to them right here from 5 p.m. on Boom Radio NG, 5 p.m. West African time on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. Deolu is going to be here with all the songs, giving in depth on all these songs and much more. And so it is New Music Friday. It's a new music weekend, of course, you know, on Boom Radio NG. So please go and check out the songs, and then enjoy your weekend. Have a beautiful, beautiful, song-filled weekend. So let's move on from that, and let's move on to sports, and let's move on to specifically the Super Falcons, the Super Falconets. And I'm still going to go back to the Super Falcons because now there's a lot of comparison happening back and forth. And the Super Falcons are in San Jose.
Falconets.
Why do I keep saying Falcons? Super Falconets are in San Jose. For people that do not know, that's the Nigeria's under 20 female national team. And 2 days ago, I remember writing that story where France's coach, their under 20 coach, was talking about how she was actually acknowledging the Super Falconets and saying that they're a formidable team and they're going to be a hard nut to crack. And they seem to have stepped up, and they have actually shown that they're really a hard nut to crack. We know that this is the same team that went all over Africa to beat everybody for these qualifiers. This is the same team that beat somebody so much that they did not bother coming back for the second leg of their game. This team is one team that has beaten people 11-0, beat everybody. They literally beat everybody all the way till they got to the World Cup. Now looks like their winning streak is not stopping anytime soon, as the same France has now been beaten 1-0 at their all-game opener yesterday.
Amazing result for Nigeria's under-20 women's team playing at the FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup out there in Costa Rica. Amazing result coming off the background of how the Super Falcons, one of my favorite teams, didn't have a great outing at their last competition here on the African continent. Largely due to the poor coaching that they got from
that's what a lot of people are talking about.
Waldron. And it is glaring. Shout out to Coach Christopher Danjuma, the homegrown, local-based, Nigerian-based, I emphasize, coach of the Super Falconets. Who has made this team into a formidable team. I don't care what happens against Korea. I don't care what happens against Canada or whoever they're going to play in the third game.
Yeah, they're playing South Korea on Sunday.
Then Korea a few days after. I don't care. What I care about is how they played against European champions France. 85 minutes into the game, it was all square. You get. And shout out to FIFA. You can actually watch these games free.
Yeah,
on FIFA Plus.
FIFA Plus, yeah.
You see free advert for FIFA right there. But we love what you guys are doing, So, 85 minutes, you're thinking, what's going on, girls? Look, I know at some point our keeper showed a little bit of panic here and there, but she still kept it,
yeah.
And the team built from the goalkeeper, the same goalkeeper, from the back. And I don't know what's her name again. I think it was Imuran or so that picked a pass. There's this diagonal pass that she picked, and it found Sebastian, the top scorer. and Sebastian was cold-blooded. Like, she picked a spot, and boom, go.
Yeah.
You get. Special mention for me is the captain, Demain. I think her name is Tosi, or so Demain. She should be playing in the Falcons.
These girls need to.
A few of these girls need to.
They are fine.
Not all, maybe 3 or 4 of them.
They need to. They need to move to the Super Falcons. This is the future of the Super Falcons, hands down.
I must look. I criticize when things are not right with the NFF and so, but on this team, I must praise them. For putting this together. The coach, everything.
This is definitely the future of Super Falcons. So there's no doubt about it.
When the best women's under 20 team in Nigeria defeats the best women's under 20 team in Europe, you must gloat and enjoy it and flex and say, shout out to the Super Falcons and everybody that's worked behind the scene. I'm not one of those people that's gonna say NFF messed up this one, and when they do well, we now still alone. But let it not be as if we're begging. You guys must maintain that crescendo.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
To a height where we would be able to.
Even before they even scored,
even
if they've scored before they scored the goal at all. I didn't watch the game. I just saw highlights later on. I already seen people talking about how they had not scored, but they played like a cohesive team. So there was so much.
Guess what? The game actually had to be suspended because of heavy downpour. It rained.
It really did.
So the game was stopped for a while. So a couple of people went to sleep because of the time zone difference and everything. And shout out to my friend Colin Udo, who tweeted something while all of us were keeping awake. We were on a video. But he said something. They said, this is why, because everybody has been advocating for the African Cup of Nations to be moved to summer. But you see, he now said this is why African nations cannot play their top tournaments in the European summer.
Yeah.
Your summer is not our summer.
Your summer is not our summer.
So that's why the Nations Cup is played in January, where we expect little or no rain. Sure you get. As against now, imagine if the tournament was played last month, the amount of rain that. So these are things that need to be factored in. That's why if FIFA can move the World Cup from the European summer to Qatar's own, which is towards the end of the year.
Why not? Why should anybody complain?
Nations Cup being played in January.
Because everybody has different weathers. Everybody definitely got different weathers. So I totally agree with you. So shout out to the Super Falconets. We're definitely going to be rooting for you any which way. You definitely, whether we like it, whether people like it or not, they've definitely done Nigeria and Africa proud. Yeah. You never can say. This might be the time you might actually just win it. We're definitely rooting for you. And let's move on from that as we move on to a bit of politics, more like controversy. So this morning the news broke that the governor of Rivers State, Governor Wike, had sued INEC, the People's Democratic Party, presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, and the governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, about the conduct of the primaries. Yeah, and it's very interesting. And that was done, and there was a story. Everybody carried it. There was a picture of even the court summons. Whether it was the court summons is fake or original, that is another story. But then that happened, and then that was a story everybody was going on with, only for the governor himself, where they were commissioning, which that was another story where he had it was said that he had been commissioning things for a few days now, and the person that he had invited now was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, where he was supposed to commission the quarters of the House of Assembly members, which I think is very impressive. I don't think a lot of states have those. Very, very impressive. I saw pictures and videos of that. And of course, it was time for the governor to talk.
So it was time for Governor Wike to talk. Or shall I say, yes, some Wike.
Yes, some Wike is Wike. Another Wike is a counterfeit. So Governor Wike decided to talk, of course, due to protocol, before the speaker says stuff. And before thanking the speaker, he decided to say a few things, which is when he publicly said that he knew nothing about
the
court summons. Also, he made a very valid point where he said that according to the law, we all know that he's a lawyer.
There's a window.
That there is a window, which if he wanted to go to court, he would have gone to court. So he did not deny that there's not a court summons. He's saying that the people that are mischievous, that went ahead, probably used his name to do all that, but that he knows nothing about it. And also the story of him pulling down PDP flags in the house, in the state house, and he's talking about how that affects anybody, that is not politics, that what does pulling down flags, what does he have to do with anything, that really people should go to their states, go and campaign, and from there then whoever wins.
You know, it was classic Yes on Weekend. I know a lot of people don't like him, or not everybody will like you. One of the things he said was,
you're not ice cream. Even ice cream self, not everybody likes him.
Dolubo is not a big fan of ice cream. Gotcha. So he even said it that he did not become governor so that people
will like him. Yeah.
He got the job because he wants to serve. He said that it wasn't a joke that he read political science and read law. Do you understand? It's a terrible combination if you take a look at it. You know, so for us, we're just going to look at the facts always, like
of the case, do. Yeah.
And the thing is that for that case to even be a case, you need locus. You need to have a stake. So whoever's sued on behalf of Wike or with Wike's name,
you have to have a reason, or you have to have a stake in the case. How does it affect you?
So I think that's why, of course, his name had to appear. For me, I would have thought that if I was even going to do a case like that, I'd have attacked it from the constitutional aspect of things. That the party has a constitution that is duly recognized and that guards everything the party does. So that was where I would have attacked. Look, this is our constitution. So I need a court to explain why our constitution was jettisoned on the altar of God knows what. Do you understand?
Okay.
That for me sounds more like something more, powerful and tangible. The person who took the case talked about how the chairman of the party referred to the governor of Sokoto, Aminu Tambowal, as the hero of democracy, and that was one of the things that they are fighting, and how they should declare Wike the winner, based on if Aminu's votes were valid to be transferred or whatever.
But he was not, at the end of the day, he wasn't even on the ballot.
So that's why you have to put Wike's name in there. I think, I'm not saying that Wike is a saint or anything, but I think Nyesom Wike is a smart guy. He's a smart guy.
Yes.
He would not, he won't throw his party under the bus. If he's going to do things like everybody, this is it. Let's be real. A lot of people expect that Wike will not work against Atiku, but that he will not work for Atiku. They are two different things. Working against Atiku means that it will be frontal about it and say, I'm not going to support you. But not working for him is a different ballgame. Like, hey, I don't know about you, but I don't know if I want to push people to vote for you. If you remember that at the last presidential elections / general elections in the South, that's one of the states that the APC couldn't even find breathing space.
Yeah.
Based on the result, it was like a total annihilation. Like if every state had voted like that, the APC wouldn't have returned.
Yeah.
So again, I know it's due to Wike's own involvement as the governor, and of course he must have done a lot of work vigorously campaigning against the APC. He's not a big fan of that party. He's always saying it. So that is what has transpired. But as it affects 2023, he's a smart guy. He's like the smart gambler that keeps his cards close to his chest.
Yeah, and then he keeps his options open.
Close to his chest because he knows that if he brings his card down a bit, other people around will see what he wants to do, and like you said, keeps his options open. But my prediction is that Nyesom Wike will not work for Atiku. I'm not saying that he's going to work for someone else, but I have a feeling that he's not going to. But of course, he remains a loyal party man who is seriously aggrieved.
I think
a lot of the leaders are saying, go and speak to Wike. I think it is time that Abubakar Atiku leaves his pride and just gets
and really
pride. Because even if it's just 1 million votes,
yes, it's a lot. The honest truth, like what you had pointed out, how he has River State. Is he's really good with it. He got PDP the required votes. He was talking about it that if the way he did in his own state, everybody had delivered like that, then the APC wouldn't have come. But the honest truth is that that's what we keep saying, that everybody needs to do their own part. It's a cumulative thing. You might not like Wike. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure that I'm a huge fan of the man. But over the past few weeks, there's a lot of things that you can see that you can't totally blame the man when he does some things. It seems to be yes, he might have some, at times I feel that some things he says is a bit uncouth, but he's a straight arrow. If anybody that watched his address today, he talked about a lot of things. He said it publicly how he worked against the fact that he didn't want the speaker to be speaker. He didn't want the Senate president that he knew he worked against a lot of things. But unfortunately, the people he had meetings with went behind his back to vote for the speaker. But that he also talked about how the speaker in himself did not use, and the presidency did not use a lot of things. That speaker was one of the people that advocated for him, for the state to get the monies, and which had absolutely nothing to do with party. And I think that is another thing that we need to really harp on, is that we should move. By the time politics or people get into offices, politics should give it a rest at that point, and then we should move on to governance. It is at that point where even the federal government can now say that every single state has been touched. Because if every single state, let's take the North, for example. There are 14 states, there are 14 APC states in the North, and there are 5 PDP states, yeah? If everything is about politics, what happens to the citizens of those 5 states? Are we saying because it's a PDP governor that governs those people, nothing is going to happen in that state? No. That's it. So I that's one thing that I also took away from that address, that the minute we're done with politics and everybody is in office, then the work begins, the governance actually begins, and then we move things. Because at the end of the day, the regular person on the streets does not care what party you are. People just want to live a good life. They just want to see the dividends of democracy, of good governance, and that's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line right there.
Okay, let's move on from that. Because we know that, but I hope that this puts a rest to it. But if not, we definitely will come back with more updates on this matter. But let's move of that. And let's move all the way to Anambra State. A very interesting story where the governor is said to have suspended the Nnewi North local government chairman because over the death of his wife. It's a very sad story. There's still a bit of speculations.
There's a backstory, and Lupo is going to give us.
So there's still a bit of speculations, but the story is that this local government chairman's wife died while she slumped while she was trying to serve him breakfast. Then, from between that and the hospital, she dies. Sadly. But then, there is an autopsy that is supposed to be conducted. But before that, they said there are bruises, there are violent marks on her body, as well as her head, which connotes a bit of domestic violence. It is said that according to some reports, that the man actually hit the woman. And there is the governor has said that an investigation should go on that. But in the meantime, he has suspended this man.
So, this is sounding like a clear-cut case of alleged domestic violence, but legally, it is within the power of the governor to suspend the chairman of a local government.
Oh yeah.
But the public defender or the prosecutor, that's the attorney general of the state, or someone should have instituted something that would make sure this man does not run away or escape if indeed he is guilty. Suspending him is just on the political front, and I like what Governor Soludo has done to say, I do not condone
I think that a lot of things, your name should not even be mentioned in some of these things.
My fear is, what if it picks up and runs, knowing that his game is up if he is
guilty? Yeah,
because it is alleged, and of course legally one has to speak along that line. So for me, I think that we need to understand why and how the governor of Anambra has already, suspended the local government chairman. But, again, I don't know who was there to witness how she had just served him breakfast and all of that. But the bottom line is that she slumped, she's been taken to hospital, she probably was brought in dead, or she was dead on arrival. However, another innocent person most likely is gone, and this is why I hope that there's some legal issues that are brought against this person so that he can be made to pay. Do you understand?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. It's the bottom line at the end of the day is that a lot of things need to, we need to speak up on these things. We talk about everybody talks about different things that happen, but we really need to sit down and realize that people hitting people is bad. Even you being hit, realize that it's not normal. Like, people need to get out of situations like this before you actually lose your life. It's sad, but that's the bottom line. Just get out of the situation. That's the very first thing. So we're moving all the way from Anambra State, and we're going all the way to Osun State, where today seems to be the end of or the climax of the Osun Osogbo festivals, which is a 7-day festival. Very interesting one for anybody that has witnessed it. The town is literally filled with guests, filled with tourists.
It's all over the world.
It's you when you get into Osogbo for the Osogbo, it's a different ball game for those 7 days. The whole town is literally buzzing for a very calm and collected. It's a different ball game those 7 days of each year. And yesterday, the government in Osun State had come out to tell people that they should not drink, which is a normal thing that happens, especially on the last day of the festival, where the Osun River, there is a particular bank that is close to the Osun Shrine, where that is where the priests and priestesses do prayers.
That's the groove?
Yeah, the groove, the Osun groove. That's so. When they're done with all that, then people take those waters. They used to have their baths, they drink it, they say that it has healing properties, all sorts of things. Everybody's belief with different things. But the government of Osun State had come out to say that this year people should please not drink it. Specifically, the Osun State Commission of Health had said that during the festival, they even gone as much as going to the grove to actually sensitize people that people should not drink, because there's been some form of it has contamination due to mining. It's really illegal mining that has been happening in Osun State right now. But today there are pictures and videos of people drinking this water.
I always like to digress to prove a point. I saw a tweet 2 days ago that said today marks I think it was 7 years that some Nigerians started drinking salt in large quantities
because of Ebola
that they didn't have. They felt that based on some WhatsApp messages and social media posts and how
I remember that
quantities of salt.
I remember that story then.
It's the same way we are when they're now saying please do not drink the waters of the Osun River this year. Some people, based on beliefs would not listen. We don't know what's going to happen, but if you fall ill and you start to shout government,
it's
I will sing that Ricky Asani song for you.
It's very interesting because the honest truth is that a lot of people do not listen. As much as we don't like the government, or we don't do this, we do that, we should get it also that I don't know how to say this nicely. A lot of times religion or our belief system at times erodes our common sense.
True.
It's common sense because it's supposed to be common sense. I get it that the river is sacred to a lot of people. Everybody, Christians, Muslims, everybody has things that they do that is like sacred to them and all that. For anybody that has gone to Osun Grove, it's not even clear water that should be drunk in the first place. My opinion. It's not even clear. There's some water that is clear, but that, okay, you don't know how clean this is. The water is not even clean. Now, the government had now come out to say that there's now a lot of contamination in the water with an already unclean water. What are we doing?
Okay, there's something that's crossed my mind. This is just one of those ideas that I have. Knowing that the Osun River is part of our culture and tradition, can a filtration system be built that does not mess with the ecosystem and the natural flow of that water, but that could at least for a mile or two keep the water purified? You get maybe a mini dam or something that is built before the groove. You get that make sure that every water that comes through is at least natural and clean. Do you get some kind of but it doesn't mess with culture and tradition. It's not as if they're adding chemicals or anything. It's just some kind of filtration system. It's just an idea that
I get what you're saying. I just hope that.
But it has to be just between the people who monitor the place and the government to say, because we know people are still going to drink this water.
It doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon.
India, when there's a similar
that
festival.
uncle has no common
There's a
sense.
similar festival.
I saw the video
of that water, and government was like, people shouldn't drink it. And
then a
politician now said, it's all right, you can drink it, blah blah blah. What's that? Then he goes ahead. Do you understand? And he landed in hospital. I don't even know what eventually happened to him. Because I'm just trying to look for a balance at times. Where
to me, I feel that I get it. That I get what you're saying. I just feel that at times, let's just add a bit of common sense.
Yeah, we have a message on YouTube. I think you want to read that.
Okay, can't find it. Please, can you just read it?
Adejoke Roger says, yeah, especially as people do all sorts of cleansing in there.
Oh yeah, because people put their legs in. People put their. Wait, now I'm thinking about what was I looking for there?
I don't know.
Like people have their baths in it. People do all sorts of things.
So again, I'm not saying stop culture and tradition, but can we just look for a creative way? It's not. It actually is not impossible. There are times where we need to realize that we can use modernity to preserve our culture.
Yeah, because the funny thing is that it's not just Ocean Grove. Yeah, it's a lot of water bodies in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries in Nigeria. I know a few of them. There's a particular town in Ekiti State. It's called Erijinyo. They have a particular stream, a river, where it is that river everybody has their bath, they drink from, they cook from, they have their bath, they wash clothes, they do all sorts of things. And I remember going there, we've gone there a few times, and the first thing that pops in my head is, how do you drink from this water? Because then I remember asking someone once, and like, okay, no, people that want to wash their clothes, they have one section, and there's one section that people drink from, there's another section that people wash clothes in, there's another section people have their bath. In my head I'm like, it's still water, everything is all flowing together, you understand? And to them it's very sacred. I'm sure that they're like, God knows how many rivers around the whole of Nigeria that people do those kind of things.
There are quite a few of them
there. So I'm like, at times maybe it's more sensitization of these things, maybe like you said, maybe more purification, because at the end of the day the government is supposed to keep people safe, find ways to make them understand, because sometimes these villages and these towns might not even want you to tamper with whatever it is. So it's very, very interesting, but I hope that nothing happens to people. But the sad part is that even if it does, especially if it is not a large number of people, we might not get to hear from it.
It's like you going for a swim in a public pool, even in a private pool, and you're not the only one in the pool. Do you know what the other person has done in the pool? I'm just saying. Although even pools have their own filtration system, where water is recycled and cleaned out, but still, before it gets to that recycle, what if you had ingested? I'm just saying, this happens everywhere. It does.
It's very interesting though. Let's move on quickly from that. Okay, we're almost out of time, but that's something that we've been talking about, these updates from different political parties. Now, this has moved all the way to the Labour Party, as the Labour Party, specifically the presidential candidate Peter Obi, has today announced Professor Charles Okibo as his campaign spokesperson. Now, let me read out a few things about Professor Okibo. Professor Okibo is a Professor Emeritus of Strategic Communication at North Dakota State University in the United States. He had been registered at the Advertising Practitioner Council of Nigeria, APCON, the Vice President of Orbicon, the UNESCO think tank at the University of Quebec, Montreal, Canada, and the executive coordinator of the African Council for Communication Education at the University of Nairobi, Kenya. He had taught full-time and part-time at the University of Nigeria, University of Lagos, Daystar University, Nairobi, and the University of Nairobi in himself. He has been a consultant and temporary advisor of UniAIDS, UNICEF, UNESCO, WHO, Ford Foundation, and Frederick Herbert Stiftung. Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, looks like this person's CV is rich. Is impressive.
It's impressive.
It is impressive.
And this is a smart move on the part of Peter Obi and the Labour Party and his team to get such an egghead, in that position. We expect an interesting campaign from the Labour.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting. When we're talking about this a few days ago, that we're talking about how a lot of people pick lawyers and very strategic people to be spokespeople for their campaign. So this is no different. I think that with the magnitude of what Nigerian politics is, with the what presidential election is in Nigeria, whether we like it or not, Nigeria's election is a global event. So I think that people need to get serious about people they appoint for things, and so this is no different. It looks like Labour Party and Peter Obi are not joking. They're serious about it, and they're going through it.
Still staying with the Labour Party and Peter Obi and things and people going through stuff. If you are on social media, especially Twitter, you will find that Femi Kuti is trending, and it's because of something that tweeted or said that became an headline on an online publication called People's Gazette.
What did he say?
So People's Gazette said Femi Kuti says obedience are zombies. And now there's a song. Of course, if you read the his father has a song, zombie, attention, left, right, keep. But Femi Kuti actually went to the People's Gazette Twitter and said this: "You're such liars. Of what benefit is it to people when you take my words out of context like this?" With a question mark. I said, "I am too angry at my age to be obedient. Expressing I do not like the term. But if Peter Obi wins and actually changes the country, better for us all."
So where did zombie come from in this sentence?
Because he said something about being obedient. That being obedient means if they tell you to sit down, you sit. If they tell you to stand, which is what it means.
The word obedient.
And he's saying, look, so it wasn't as if he was criticizing Peter Obi or whatever, but everybody has taken the obedience thing because of Obi's name, forgetting the real meaning of the word obedient, which was what Femi pointed out. And it wasn't a dig at the Labour Party. It was just him saying, look, at my age, I'm too old to be saying sit down, stand up, whatever. But again, People's Gazette needs to chill with the way they twist stuff.
We need to chill. Really
I know they need the clicks and clouds. I know that they need the eyeballs, but again, you need to chill, man.
Sadly, a lot of people are probably not going to go back to see this.
A lot of people are running with the so-called.
That's what I'm saying. It's very, very sad. Anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much for the comments. We'll be back again on Monday. Like I said earlier, there is New Music Friday from 5 p.m. today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Listen to all the songs that we talked about. And if you really want to just go back to hear, it is Boom Radio NG on YouTube. You could go back to watch the video. We're back again here at 3 p.m. West African time on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend ahead.